Welcome to StudyIQ. Through the course of this video, we'll try to look at the current affairs that have transpired in Tripura. We will be predominantly focusing on all the important news that has taken place from January all the way till April 2018 that are important from your exam point of view. As we have mentioned, the primary focus is going to be looking at the current affairs in the state of Tripura. This, of course, is a free video course that you're having. You can visit our website, StudyIQ.com, and get to know more about the other courses that are available, other paid courses which are available. Also, the PDF for this particular video will be available on our website, StudyIQ.com. You can follow our co-founder by the name of Tireless Soul on Instagram, or you can search for Dr. Gaurav Garg and follow him on Instagram. Before we commence looking at the important current affairs, it is imperative for all of you to know about the wildlife sanctuaries which are there in Tripura. For example, the Gomati Wildlife Sanctuary, or when you're talking about the Trishna Wildlife Sanctuary, which of course was notified in 1988. So these are also pertinent informations that you have to keep in mind about the 4 wildlife sanctuaries which are there in Tripura. Of course, there are 2 national parks which are there in Tripura which you need to be aware about, such as the Rajbari National Park as well as the Clouded Leopard National Park. Now we commence with the news. Northeast India's largest IT hub opens in Tripura. Northeast's 6th and the largest hub for information technology has been inaugurated in Agartala. The hub has been set up at a cost of 50,000 crore, and it will surely boost employment as well as e-governance, and of course the export of software technology will also be helped. The hub is expected to create more employment opportunities for the youths and extend the e-government. Of course, this will be the largest hub in the region. Software Technology Parks of India, the STPI, under the Union Ministry of Electronic and Information Technology, helped the state government in setting up this hub, and of course they have shared their technological knowledge with the state government. Of course, the new IT hub is ready to use incubation space, and this will be made available that can be used by the startup companies and of course the aspiring entrepreneurs. Agartala emphasis on sub-regional multimodal connectivity at the BIMSTEC, that is the Bay of Bengal Initiative for Multi-Sectorial Technical and Economic Cooperation. Of course, on commemoration of the 20th year of the BIMSTEC, the Indian Chamber of Commerce has organized the summit at Agartala with the Ministry of External Affairs. This is an international organization that is involving a group of 7 countries in South Asia and Southeast Asia, such as India, Bangladesh, Nepal, Bhutan, Thailand, Sri Lanka and Myanmar. Of course, the main agenda discussed was regional integration of the region through new connectivity and of course reviving multimodal connectivity, which once existed. Tamil Nadu, Himachal Pradesh and Tripura chosen for Krishi Karman Awards 2015 and 16. The Union Ministry of Education, Agriculture and Farmers Welfare has selected Tamil Nadu, Tripura and Himachal Pradesh for the Krishi Karman Awards, and this is for their record performance in production of food grains during the year 2015 and 16. Of course, apart from these states, Meghalaya also would get a commendation prize for the total food grain production that they have displayed. Tripura is there in small category, less than 1 million tons. Tripura has been selected for the Krishi Karman Award for a commendable increase in the food grain production in small category states. And of course, the state produced about 8,25,000 tons of food grain in 2016. The Krishi Karman Awards, they were instituted, they began in 2010 and 11 by the Union Ministry of Agriculture and Farmers Welfare, and they reward the best performing states in the production of food grains and individual crops of rice, wheat, pulses, coarse cereals, right? And of course, totally 8 awards have already been given. The government announces expansion of rotavirus vaccine in 5 states. So this is a part of the Universal Immunization Program, the UIP, and the Union government has announced the expansion of the rotavirus vaccine. Of course, the states include Assam, Tripura, Madhya Pradesh, Rajasthan, and Tamil Nadu. Of course, the announcement comes after 38 lakh children were vaccinated when vaccine was first introduced in 4 states such as Haryana, Andhra Pradesh, and Odisha. The key facts: rotavirus is one of the most common causes of severe diarrhea in children who are less than 2 years of age, and it is one of the biggest killers of children in India. And of course, it is also responsible for nearly 78,000 deaths and 32 lakh outpatients visits and nearly 9 lakh hospitalizations every year. So this is a cause of grave concern. And of course, this vaccine will prevent rotavirus diarrhea in children, which approximately accounts for 40% of hospitalizations from diarrhea in India. Universal Immunization Program, the UIP. The UIP was launched by the Government of India in the year 1985, and it became of the Child Survival and Safe Motherhood Program 1992. And of course, currently one of the key areas under the National Rural Health Mission. This has been considered the Universal Immunization Program ever since 2005. The program now in its new form consists of vaccination for 12 diseases. Some of these diseases are pneumonia, tuberculosis, pneumococcal diseases, and hepatitis B, diarrhea, Japanese encephalitis. Of course, hepatitis B and pneumococcal diseases, they were added to the Universal Immunization Program in the year 2007 and 2017 respectively. Tripura's toughest for gas exploration with best success rate. Of course, due to the high pressure of gas and unusual formation beneath the soil, Tripura is the toughest zone for drilling and exploration of gas in the world. It is one of the most toughest. However, the success ratio is 1:2 in the state against the world success ratio 1:5, according to the ONGC Executive Director Gautam Kumar Sinha Roy. Right, the Oil and Natural Gas Corporation, that's the ONGC, has drilled 225 wells in Tripura so far, and 116 were found to be gas bearing. Of course, the Maharashtra company has, for the last 12 years, not been able to proceed with the exploration work in the region due to lack of environmental clearances, and it also falls under the Trishna Bison National Park and Wildlife Sanctuary. The firm has commissioned its first commercial gas-based power project in India, located in Palatana, 60 kilometers south of Agartala, and now run by ONGC Tripura Power Corporation, that is the OTPC. Of course, BSNL to set up 111 base towers in Meghalaya, Mizoram, and Tripura. BSNL is having 111 new base transceiver stations towers in NE1 circle comprising of Tripura as well. 56 of these towers will be in remote Meghalaya and 46 will be there in Tripura, whereas the existing are 386. Each of these towers is expected to cater to a population of 5,000 people. PM Ujjwala Yojana free LPG scheme has been launched in Tripura. This is an important news. The state government of Tripura has launched the central government's ambitious LPG distribution scheme for the below poverty line families across the state. Of course, free cooking gas connections would be provided to all the below poverty line houses. Currently, LPG coverage in Tripura stands to about 48.9%, and there are about 9.22 lakh households with the LPG connection. And of course, the government would add 40 new LPG distributors and 40 new retail outlets to make sure that there is a steady supply of LPG in the state. Fortified midday meal program in Tripura for students. This has been launched in association with Tata Trust with the Tripura government, and this has been in collaboration with Tata Trust to distribute fortified meals in all schools so that students are covered under the health benefits. Of course, under the program, the government will try to provide fortified meals to the students in order to remove and reduce cases of disorders like stunted growth, overweight, and anemia. Of course, under the midday meal program, Tripura students will get healthy food. The poor students will who study in government schools now will get nutritious food by the government. About 70% of the preschool children and over 50% of women suffer from anemia. according to the national survey data. And of course, in the first phase, the government aims to promote double fortified salt in school midday meals and in the integrated child development scheme. Prime Minister Narendra Modi pushed the idea of universal fortification in January 2016. Of course, universal fortification, this includes the addition of key vitamins and minerals to the food to improve their nutritional value and make sure that the nutritional gaps in the population are reduced exponentially. The aim of the center is to achieve the target of universal availability of fortified food by 2020. Monthly allowance scheme in Tripura, financial assistance to the poor cancer patients. The state government of Tripura has now started a new monthly scheme allowance for the poor cancer patients in Tripura. Of course, under the scheme, the state government of Tripura will provide financial assistance of about 600 rupees per month to the patients who are suffering from cancer and who are poor. The assistance will be given to the poor patients whose annual income is less than 1.5 lakh rupees. The state government has also established Amrit Pharmacy on the occasion of the birth anniversary of Swami Vivekananda. Scalars wood scorpion, this is a new scorpion species discovered in Tripura. Scientists have discovered new scorpion species named Scalars wood scorpion at the Trishna Wildlife Sanctuary, Tripura. It has been named in honor of the celebrated wildlife biologist George Scalar, who studied wildlife across the world, including the snow leopards of the Himalayas and central India's tigers. There was this team, part of the scientist team, with the researcher Zishan Mirza, about 2 years ago, launched an app called Indian Scorpion E-Guide. This is probably the first of its kind in India for the use by common man rather than experts to popularize scorpions among naturalists and enthusiasts. Tripura to upgrade the Dambur power plant. The Tripura government is all prepared at an estimated or cost of 100 crore project to upgrade the state's hydroelectric project. That's the only lone hydroelectric project in Dambur in South Tripura. The proposal has been sent to the center for approval and of course the release of funds. According to an official of the Tripura State Electricity Corporation, that is a TSECL. The plan is to revive the power plant and commissioned in 1975 by streamlining water flows of the Raima and the Sarma rivers. It was of course prepared on the recommendations of experts from the central government agency NHPC. Tripura to be the Tonghars free, the traditional Tonghars or the thatched and bamboo made elevated houses, which was actually a hallmark, which is still a hallmark of the classical tribal habitation, is all set to be replaced with pakka or concrete buildings. Thousands of pakka buildings that are coming up across the state under the Prime Minister Awas Yojana. The Prime Minister Awas Yojana, that is the PMAY, will also encompass tribal areas which cover about 68.10% of Tripura's total geographical territory. And there are still 8,000 Tonghars across the hilly areas of Tripura, and all of them are going to be replaced with the pakka or the semi-pakka houses by the end of 2018. This is of course under the PMAY and the Indira Awas Yojana. Journo murder case, Tripura High Court orders government to submit charge sheet. The Tripura High Court ordered the state government to submit charge sheet and other documents relevant to the investigation into the killing of journalist Shantanu Bhaumik. Bhaumik was hacked to death on 20th September at the West Tripura district, 28 kilometers from the state capital. He had of course gone to cover the demonstration of the Indigenous People Front of Tripura, that is the IPFT, which is a political party representing the tribals of the place. Memorial Park in Tripura, the Indo-Bangla Friendship Park in South Tripura district, around 130 kilometers from here on Vijay Divas, has been, of course, there is a memorial park. The park is spread across 20.2 hectares and it's built at a cost of 7 crore rupees. Will celebrate the historic friendship between Tripura and Bangladesh and will remember all the liberation wars warriors from the place of Chota Kola, as long as the history of Bangladesh Liberation War is remembered. So this was the memorial park in Tripura. Tripura MP bats for bamboo. Tripura MP Jitendra Chaudhary in his speech in Parliament sought special incentives to boost bamboo cultivation, and adding the sector could generate employment for more than 30 lakh families in the northeast. The Lok Sabha excluded bamboo from the category of a plant and included the list of grasses by a revision of the Indian Forest Act. India is currently the second largest manufacturer after China of bamboo, and over 1.4 lakh square kilometers in the country is used for bamboo cultivation, and of course out of which 55% is there in the northeast. Tripura government's women staff to get 24-month maternity leave. This maternity leave to all the women employees is for their first 2 children. Women employees can take this leave in one go or intermittently till the child turns 18. So this is a new relief for all the mothers. Tripura gets trauma unit. Tripura got its first trauma care unit at Agartala Government Medical College. Road accidents cause the most critical injuries in the state, and of course according to the Transport Department, Tripura had over 3 lakh vehicles in 2014. Tobacco use rises in Assam, Tripura, Manipur, says a report. Tobacco use has increased in all the 3 states, including Tripura, against an overall decline in the country between 2009 to 2017. This has been according to the Global Adult Tobacco Survey, that's the GATS 2016-17 of northeastern states. Assam and Tripura also recorded the most significant increase in chewing of smoke-less tobacco, when it has declined from 25% to 21% in the country overall. Of course, it decreased significantly in Sikkim and rose moderately in Mizoram, Meghalaya and Nagaland. Tripura to supply 80% drugs free in hospitals. 80% of the medicines will be distributed free of cost to the hospitalized patients out of 33 numbers of medicines available. If any medicine beyond the listed items prescribed by the doctors, the patient party have to buy it from the market. Tripura monk elected as the IBC secretary, the International Buddhist Confederation secretary. When we're talking about it, so Dhammapiya, a monk from Tripura, has been elected as the Secretary General of the IBC, which is a global forum for the preservation and development of Buddhist heritage sites in India and abroad. Dhammapiya, who was elected unopposed, is a founder chairman of Dhamma Deepa International Buddhist Academy of Novices and Young Monks. ONGC hosts Cyclothon in Tripura. This was a nationwide program for observation of energy conservation fortnight. ONGC Tripura's set held a mega cycle rally named Cyclothon, and this saw a few hundred professionals and students at Agartala pledging to reduce the use of fossil fuels and misuse of conventional sources. So Petroleum and Conservation Research Association, in association with ONGC, had launched the Pan-India campaign to stop the misuse of energy, following appeal of the Prime Minister Narendra Modi. Tripura glare on 2 drugs. The Tripura government has notified 2 prescription drugs as not of standard quality in an official memorandum around the pantoprazole 40 mg tablets and the norflixin 400 mg tablets with a batch number PRJT were substandard. The batches of drugs were manufactured by Wing Biotech, a Karnataka-based pharmaceutical company. Tripura makes using the Cook-Borak language on signboards mandatory. The Tripura government has made it mandatory to display the tribal name and language on signboards, nameplates and other notices in all government buildings. A high-powered committee has been formed to supervise the work of writing the tribal name and the Cook-Borak language. Of course, this is following the Tripura government's persistent demand. The Union Civil Aviation Ministry has been making flight information announcement at Agartala Airport in the tribal Cook-Borak language, in addition to Hindi, English and Bengali. Tribals, of course, constitute 1/3 of Tripura's population, and of the state there are about a total of 11,66,813 tribals. Over 60% communicate in the Cook-Borak language. Tukboruk is now being taught in schools and colleges in Tripura as one of the language subjects up to a degree level at the Tripura Central University. Tripura gets its first Rajdhani Express train in an attempt to redefine the transportation system of the northeastern states of the country. The Union Minister of State for Railways, Rajan Goyen, has flagged off the first Rajdhani Express train for Tripura from Agartala railway station. The train will run once a week starting every Friday, and it will cover a distance of 2,413 kilometers from Agartala to Anand Vihar within a span of 40 hours. ONGC is pumping 3,104 crores for drilling of wells and creation of surface facilities in Tripura in line with the hydrocarbon vision of 2013 for Northeast region. ONGC management has approved additional investment of 3,104 crores for drilling of wells and creation of surface facilities to produce gas from the Tripura gas fields. Tripura slashes ATF tax for the Kailashahar. The Tripura government has decided to reduce the tax on air turbine fuel ATF to 1% from 18% for the Kailashahar airport to attract aviation companies to connect to the northwestern town of Tripura. Through the course of this video, we've tried to look at the important affairs that have taken place in Tripura, which are important from your exam point of view. You can get and take a look at the PDFs for this particular video on our website, and you can mention any queries if you may have on the comment section. Good luck for your preparations.